views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Get ready to experience the truth. Welcome to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Truth Talk Radio is the hit show that will illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. Unleash your intuitive nature while Deb helps you stop looking outside yourself for value and happiness, break through patterns, and move into your authentic truth at lightning speed. Truth Talk Radio will leave you feeling lighter, help you live with more presence, passion, and clarity, and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Now here's your host, Deb Acker.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deb Acker, and you are listening to Truth Talk on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with me for the next hour as I help you experience the truth, nothing but the truth. Each week on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll have some of the most gifted, inspiring, and unique souls, speakers, and authors helping to move you into more light, love, and, of course, truth. And before we get started today, I'd like to start out today's show with an intention. And my intention for today's show is that everyone that needs to hear this conversation hears it, and that you leave feeling expansive, inspired, lit up, and open to receiving the messages that want to come through. So with that, I'd like to introduce today's guest, Tanya Carroll Richardson. Tanya is a self-improvement, spiritual author, and professional intuitive who is passionate about angels, beauty, and nature. She's been writing about angels and interviewing people about their encounters with angels for over a decade. And she's the author of many books, including Angel Insights, Inspiring Messages from and Ways to Connect with Your Spiritual Guardians. So with that, I'd like to welcome Tanya to the show. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to be connecting and talking with you today. It's going to be such a fun conversation. So tell us, tell us about how you got started in this. Tell us about your story. How'd you get started on this journey of angels and writing and being intuitive?
Yeah, I talk about in the book Angel Insights. I've always been intuitive. But then sometime maybe 10 or 15 years ago, my intuition started really coming online, and I started hearing what I called then my little voice, which I didn't know at the time was clairaudience. So I started getting messages through voices clairaudiently. And then I started, I've always been very spiritual. And like I said, I was intuitive as a child. I could, my brother and I used to play this game where he had these colored cards, and he would turn around and pick one and say, what color am I holding? And I could always pick the right color. So I had that. I knew that there was something there. But then once I started getting the voice, I started reading more about spirituality, reading more about psychics. I'd always seen psychics since I was a teenager. I'd always been attracted to that kind of thing. But I started really studying it more. And then about 5 years ago, my clairvoyance came online. That's where you see images. They give you psychic information. And then with that, the claircognizance came on, and clairsentience, which is the most common of the clairs to have, I do have. And it's funny, that shows up for me. It's really when you get an intuitive feeling, but it's funny when I'm giving someone a reading, if something that I'm saying is very important, I will get chills all over my body. So it's really fun. So when I'm talking to someone and we start to talk about something that's really important, then I get the chills. So that's basically it. And then, of course, once you start giving people intuitive readings, you just start learning at a quantum pace, because you're really exercising all those things.
Really, really cool. Yeah, I'm intuitive too, and I get chills when I'm getting someone's soul truth. So I totally know it's you get that feeling, and you're like, okay, this is really important. I need to make sure that this is really, really emphasized. So I know we're going to talk about angels today, and tell me about how how'd you first start connecting? Obviously you were talking about your intuition, but how did you first start connecting with your angels?
Well, when I first, the concept of angels didn't really resonate with me. I have nothing against Christianity or any religion, but I wasn't raised Christian. I wasn't really raised with any religion. And I always associated angels with Christianity. But then the more I started to read about them, the more I got into them, hearing people's stories about angels, reading about angels. And then, of course, like I said, with my clairaudience, I used to just call it my little voice. But what I realized is that I'm hearing the voices of many different people, ascended masters, departed loved ones, angels. It always sounds like the same voice. It's a very calm voice in your mind. It's not a thought. It really is you're hearing a voice. And when I really started working with the angels, especially when I wrote Angel Insights, and in my intuitive readings, angels always come forward and say, clairaudiently to me, my name is this, I want to help this person with this. So it's really fun working with angels because they so desperately want to work with us. So,
Very true.
they're always there. I always feel like there's a flock of angels behind me when I start a reading, and then several will step forward, not only your guardian angels, but several other angels. An archangel usually steps forward, helper angels, and they say, hey, tell them that my name is this and I want to work with them on this and this is what we're going to do. And so the angels are fun because they're buzzing around us all the time, to use that wings metaphor, and they really, really want to make contact with us and want to help us.
Super cool. So we're talking about angels and we're talking about intuition. And in terms of like when someone is just getting started to really connect into and tune into their intuition, I know these are kind of two separate things and yet similar and overlapping. When they're tuning into their intuition and tuning into their angels, what do you recommend as to like how to get started with that?
Yeah, there are several. I mean, I explain the 4 clairs, which are really good to know about once you're learning about intuition. I think the first thing to do is try and understand where you fall on what I call kind of the intuition scale, which is, are you highly, highly intuitive? You've been seeing spirits or talking to angels since you were a child, or having strong psychic abilities since you were a child? Are you somewhere kind of in the middle where you kind of, sometimes you can sense the energy of a room, or you might get chills, or you might, that you have, there's something out there, but you're not able to make a really clear contact? Or are you someone, and there are some people that are just not wired that way, and it's not good or bad or ugly. It's just that they might be really good at math and really good at other things, and they just don't have a really strong natural intuition. So I think it's important to know where you fall right there, just to get to know yourself a little bit. And then you have to realize that you can dramatically and significantly increase your intuition wherever you fall on that scale. If you want to start doing exercises, if you want to start reading about it, if you want to start trusting your intuition. So I think the angels are telling me now, the first thing really to tell people is trust your intuition. If you start trusting those hunches, maybe you're leaving the house and there's no rain in the forecast, but you hear a voice that says you need your umbrella, or you get this feeling when you pass the umbrella stand, I need my umbrella, but you think, I don't need my umbrella, I checked the weather forecast. Sure enough, at lunchtime it's raining and you're stuck in the rain without an umbrella. Start following those intuitive hunches whenever you get them, and that really is a way to grow that muscle and to trust yourself. And I think that's, besides just getting books on intuition and educating yourself, I do have exercises for clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, which is another one that I use a lot in the readings. It's where you get a strong knowing. It's like an intellectual form of being psychic, where you get kind of like a download. So with me, I could, I could all of a sudden, be told that I need to ask you about your father, and then suddenly get all this information about what he's like, just instantly, what his personality is like, maybe what he did for a living, blah, 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 what your relationship is like. And it's fascinating because it comes instantly, like a download to your computer. There's exercises for that in my book. Dreams is another way that you can use your intuition. You can start a dream journal. And then, of course, the clairsentience, where you get the feelings. So play with those exercises. But the biggest thing, I think, is just start trusting that intuition.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important, too, with the knowing, because I always say it's like we're so drawn into that physical world that, like the seeing and the hearing in terms of our intuition are much more like quote unquote tangible. And so that knowing and that feeling we can have those, and yet we can dismiss them because they're not quote unquote in our physical world. And the hearing and the seeing aren't either, because you're seeing things in your mind's eye. I know exactly what you're talking about. But the seeing, I'm talking about seeing things in your mind's eye, and then the hearing is hearing a voice in your mind. So I totally understand what you're saying, but in a way, those really are not in the physical world either. That's the interesting thing about intuition.
it's all not in the physical world, which is
no, absolutely. It's and I say like the seeing and hearing are more physical because like I know when my seeing comes in, I see something at least. Like it's at least a little bit more clear than, oh my gosh, I have this gut feeling in my body that's like, oh, like what's going on. And so it's like it's just tuning into whatever wants to come in, whatever's being shown, and asking what message that has for you. Absolutely. So now in terms of like, so you were talking about getting started with with our intuition. How do you recommend we get started with the angels?
Yeah, with the angels, one thing that I tell people, and the angels are reminding me right now, an excellent way to do it is start journaling. And it doesn't have to be a long journal entry, but you could get in the habit of journaling every other day, once a week. Her name is escaping me, but she does the artist's way. Julia Cameron always says your morning pages. If you want, you could do your morning pages as your letter to your angel. And just, simply, you don't have to fill up more than a page if you're not in the mood, but just say, dear guardian angel, you do have more than one guardian angel, but you can just start simple and say, dear guardian angel or dear angels, I'm having issues with this. I need help with this. Could you send me a sign? Could you send me a helpful person or opportunity? Or I just need to get this off my chest and know that you in spirit are with me. Help me manage and process these emotions. And then once you journal, really look for those signs or look for those, it doesn't have to come as a voice in your head. It can come as an insightful thought. Sometimes we get those aha moments that can be from our angels and from our intuition. So after you tell the angels and give them a request or tell them what's wrong, look for those insightful thoughts or those synchronicities of people that come into your life at just the right time. Then you can go back to your journal and say, oh my gosh, thank you. I think that you sent me this. Another fun exercise that I have in the book that I think helps make angels more real for us is learn the names of your guardian angels. So you can just get quiet somewhere and just ask your higher self and the angels, give me the name of one of my guardian angels. And the first name that pops into your mind, go with it. Now, if you sit there for 10 or 15 minutes and you don't get a name, don't worry about it. Just choose a name that, is a fun nickname, maybe a baby name you've always liked, the name of a character from a book you've always liked. The angels don't care. They're just so happy that you're making this kind of intimate contact with them. And then the last, I want to mention quickly too, archangels and helper angels. Those are not your guardian angels, but they're always available to you. So you can, in my book, I have a list of archangels and their specialties, or you can go online and research them, and really don't feel hesitant about calling one in, because they are, these dynamic, powerful spiritual beings. But just like every other angel, they love to be called on. They're very hard workers, they're reminding me right now, and they like to be working. So put one of those archangels to work for you, and they are potent entities. Then there are helper angels, and those are freelance angels. I talk about them in my book, and I love helper angels. You never want to play favorites, but they're freelance angels, and they each have specialties. So you could, if you're looking for a home, you can ask for a real estate angel to help work with your realtor. If you're having trouble in, maybe your son or daughter is having trouble in math, you can ask for a math tutor angel to be with them when they're doing their homework with their normal tutor. You always want to handle things in the material, physical way, in a practical way, but calling in an angel to help, a healing helper angel to help you work with your doctors, angels, a PR marketing helper angel to help you work with your publicist. Whatever you're working on, and no matter how specific, there is a helper angel that specializes in that, which I know is a far out concept, but it really is true. And I've had a lot of people who've read the book say, I hired a helper angel and it helps so much with X, Y, and Z. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I want to talk to you more about that when we, after our break. So you are listening to Truth Talk. I'm your host, Deb Acker. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to explore more with Tanya and Angel. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life, too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
A word of caution, if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
The doctor is in. Tune in to the hit show, The Psychic Love Doctor, with host Deborah Lee. Deborah's life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. Join Deborah Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific, and for a special broadcast the second Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming trends.
Are you and your family looking for one manageable lifestyle change that will positively impact your health? Look no further. That change begins inside your drinking glass. Learn how to put a lid on junk drinking by sipping from a recipe collection of colorful, fresh, tasty, wholesome fruit and vegetable blends. Get your copy now of Sip the Garden. Fun, easy drinks for a healthier family by T. Carey Mitchell. Visit lifestyle120.com for information on how to order.
Awaken to your radiant, authentic self. For over 15 years, Soul Purpose Advocate Nancy Monson has been focused on leading change in the lives of those looking to live their true purpose. She is devoted to supporting people and living a soul-directed life every day. Let Nancy help you overcome fear, worry, and doubt. Visit everydayspirituality.com to learn how Nancy can be your Soul Purpose Advocate.
1230 WBLQ.
We're back on Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker, and my guest today is Tanya Richardson, and we are exploring various ways to communicate with the angels. Before we continue, Tanya, can you give everyone your contact info, please?
Sure, thank you. The best way to contact me is through my website. It's easy to remember, tanyablessings.com. And I have a tab there. If you want to do angel readings with me, it explains it and gives you the email. But you can just go to tanyablessings.com.
Awesome. So today we are talking about communicating, your intuition and communicating with your angels. And I want to ask you, because I know the angels can feel like this really far out idea, or because you can't quote unquote see them, it's hard to believe that they exist. What do you say? What is your advice to people who maybe this does feel far out for them and they don't believe in angels?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it brings up a lot of things that I want to say. First of all, some people do see angels, which is interesting, and you're right, most people don't. However, some people, just your average everyday person, will see an angel once in their lifetime. I actually saw an angel once with the full wings, the robe, everything. And it was a very far out experience.
They have really big energy.
Big energy. And when you see an entity from another dimension standing in front of you with 10-foot wings, it's pretty intense. So, and there are people who, and also angels can come to us in human form. So sometimes someone will have a helpful person at a hospital or a police station or even the supermarket, or it could be a miraculous encounter where they save your life, they save you from drowning, or it could be a very run-of-the-mill encounter where they just give you a smile and cheer you up. And then you get a kind of a funny feeling about them, and then you go back to the restaurant or wherever and they say, oh, no one by that description works here. So angels really do, sometimes they will show up in a divine form, and there are many ways they can do that. One of them is with wings, but they also love to show up as humans, just like Clarence Oddbody in It's a Wonderful Life. So so people do see angels, but it is more of a rare occurrence. Although seeing angels as humans is really not that rare. And as far as angels being very far out, I totally get that. And I totally understand why people would feel that way. And I think, the angels are reminding me, it all just comes down to what resonates with you. I think if you got a book like mine on angels, or you read online about angels, or took a class on angels, and it just didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Spirit can speak to us in many different forms and through many different mediums. And angels are not for everybody. If they're for you, you'll know it. Your heart will tell you. Now, in spiritual truth, I believe, and the angels have told me, that we all have angels around us all the time. So they're going to love you and advocate for you and send you guidance, whether you believe in them, whether you think they're far out or not. They are beings from another dimension. So that's a far out concept that not everyone can wrap their brains around or want to wrap their brains around. And then the other thing, when people have a resistance to believing in angels, I think the main thing that I hear from skeptics is, if God is real, if spirit is real, if angels are real, why did this toddler die of cancer? Why was there this shooting rampage in Orlando? Why are there wars? Why? And I think those are excellent questions, and they need to be asked. And I also think that it's fine to get angry at God, to question, to rail against God. I think God can take it, and that's fine. However, we often get into what I call a black and white notion of God. In other words, black and white thinking, which people can get really trapped into because it feels very safe and defined. And God is not something that's safe or defined. And so in black and white thinking with God, we start to tell ourselves that God is either this all-knowing, all-seeing person in the sky that can save everyone and stop every pain from happening, or God doesn't exist. Either God is that, or I'm an atheist and God doesn't exist. And the truth about God is just like we learn growing up and becoming mature adults. Life has mostly gray areas. And God is a gray area as well. It's much more dynamic and intricate and multifaceted than we can imagine. And also, we're part of God. We are extensions of that entity and that force. And we also have free will. And we've been given free will because we're very powerful spiritual beings. And sometimes people will use that free will to make some terrible product that in the 60s helped contribute to cancer, or, whatever, because they didn't know better, or, and the question is, why doesn't God or the angels come in and stop every terrible thing from happening? And I think they really do try, but there's an element, and sometimes they do step in and miracles happen and people are miraculously saved. But I think that sometimes also bad things are allowed to happen because it serves a purpose, a lesson on some level. It raises the level of enlightenment of this dimension. This dimension has a long way to go as far as enlightenment. And sometimes a devastating thing can really raise the global level of enlightenment around an issue. And it still makes it tragic, but it's true that there was some kind of spiritual reason for that.
Yeah, no, like that's, I think it's just really, really important to emphasize and to know. It's like part of the bad happening, I feel like anytime anything happens, there's growth there if you choose it, right? And so I really do feel like it's like with that, we tend to, in our world, we tend to define things as good and bad, and it doesn't necessarily have to, like, that's the way that it's like that black and white that you're talking about, right? It's like, that's the way we tend to put things either in those boxes, right? But it's like everything is for the highest good, whether it feels good or doesn't feel good in that moment. Whether it's like, oh, I didn't want to go through that. But if you look at, I look at back when I was a kid and my mother passed away from cancer, and I look at how much, obviously that was devastating, and yet I look at how much I grew from that happening, and how much my soul grew, how much I evolved, how much all of that stuff was, quote unquote, for my highest good, even though obviously it was a really hard experience to go through. So
yeah. Go ahead. I was just going to say,
go ahead.
My mother died when I was young too, and I think that it's interesting because there's always the lessons, and I always tell my clients though, but don't cut off from your emotions. Don't just see the lesson, also see the tragedy and the pain and the unfairness and all those other emotions. Both of them are existing at once, and both of them are just part of being on planet Earth. There's the lesson, there's the beauty, and then there's the terrible, terrible pain that in some ways you'll never make sense of. Why was my mother taken? There's in some ways you'll never make complete sense of situations like that. And part of it is just being on planet Earth where people die and bad things happen, and that's the dimension we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And feeling those emotions actually helps, raise your vibration, raise your energy, and really to help bring light to something that can feel really sad, devastating, or heavy. So we are going to take another quick break here. You are listening to Truth Talk. I'm your host, Deb Acker. When we return, we are going to explore more with Tanya, so stay tuned. We will be right back.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days, because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
The doctor is in. Tune in to the hit show, The Psychic Love Doctor, with host Deborah Lee. Deborah's life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. Join Deborah Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific, and for a special broadcast the second Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
What if your body and mind were the compasses to the secrets, mysteries, and magic of life? Glenna Rice, co-host of The Questionable Parent, is inviting you to access all that is possible. Glenna is a 10-year certified veteran access consciousness facilitator who offers an amazing variety of life-changing classes and workshops. Work with Glenna from anywhere, with teleclasses and workshops all over the globe. To learn more and see Glenna's current schedule of events, classes, and workshops, visit glennarice.com.
We're back on Truth Talk, and for those just tuning in, I'm here talking with Tanya Richardson about communicating with angels. And so, Tanya, as we're talking about these angels, tell me about the three main types of angels that you describe in your book.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good thing to clarify. The main angels that I talk about are guardian angels, archangels, and helper angels. And we touched on all of those in the first segment. Guardian angels were assigned to you before you were born. If past lives resonate with you, those angels were probably with you in past lives as well. So they know you well, not necessarily, but they might have been there with you. And they were assigned just to you. So the fun thing is they're your personal angels. They're really, their main gig is you, and they don't have a side gig. So, and then it depends on the person, their life path, how many guardian angels they were assigned. But I found that people usually have about 3 is what I find. And then there are archangels. And, with the guardian angels, you can, because they're your own personal angels, they're always there for you. And they're very, very committed to helping you and advocating for you and constantly sending you guidance because you're their main assignment. Then the archangels are those really powerful, potent energies that are basically, they've told me each one of them is like symbolizes an archetype. And there are several, and they oversee other angels, and they are like ascended masters. They can be with many people at once. So if Archangel Michael, who's a very, very popular archangel, and I love him and he's great to work with, if you want to call on him, don't be intimidated and think that, my problem isn't big enough, or he's too busy. I don't want to take him away from some war-torn land or somewhere where there's a higher need. He can really be with all people at once. It's something that is hard to wrap your mind around in this dimension, but it's just true in the dimension of heaven if you're an ascended master. So, or an archangel or something like that. So he can really be with all people at once. And each of those archangels has a specialty. So really look at those specialties. And they're telling me right now, their archangels are reminding me, it's just what we're best at. It's not that you can't come to us for other things, but this is really what we're best at. And that's a nice segue into helper angels, the third type of angel. And those angels are fun to call on because they're freelance angels. So they're, just like a freelancer in our world, they get assignments, but they're also kind of sitting around waiting to be called on someone and waiting to be given an assignment. And freelance angels are the same way. And again, they also have specialties. So I had several people helping me with the publicity for this book, but I also hired a couple of helper angels. I got quiet and asked who wanted to come, and some names came forward. And so when I was journaling at night, I would address them. And when I was praying and I needed some help with PR or marketing, I would contact them. And that has really been something that people with the book have said that they've hired helper angels. One woman said that she was at the DMV and she was from England, and she went there to get her license, and they had updated or renewed. And they said, we're sorry, but there's only one machine here that handles licenses from people that have citizenship in other countries. And it's been down for the last 2 hours, and we don't know when it'll come back online. So she waited for like an hour and a half at the DMV, just thinking, oh my gosh, I took the day off work. I really need to get this license today. So finally she broke down and hired a helper angel through a prayer. And she said, Tanya, you wouldn't believe it, 5 minutes later, the guy was at the counter. He said, well, it's back online. I don't know why, but it's back on. So she simply just said, I need a digital helper angel to help me with this equipment, get it going. Now, of course, this isn't going to always work, but I've had so many instances of people telling me they've hired a helper angel and it really has worked. So definitely try it. And helper angels specialize in everything under the sun. Anything you can imagine, as specific as you want to get, you can get a helper angel to help you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, just really important to emphasize, the simplest way to talk to your angels is literally start communicating with them. I need help here. Can you help me? Call on them. It doesn't have to be some magic way of communicating with them. It's literally can be just this verbal, hey, Archangel Michael, can you please help, pull out all my cords to this person or this, whatever's going on in your life. And so you can really, call on your angels. It can be that simple and that easy. Which actually brings me, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and that's a good thing to emphasize, it can be done also just very with a thought. Archangel Michael, come and help. I need help with this. Just a thought. It doesn't even have to be verbal. It doesn't even have to be written down. Those are great things to do, but it can just be a thought that, as you said, doesn't have to be a formal prayer. It can just be a very, very loose thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I want to get a little specific with the archangels. I know that you were talking about, obviously, the archangels are available for all kinds of things. What are a few of the most common archangels and their specialties?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm already at work on my next angel book, and that is not going to come out for at least a year and a half or 2 years. So get Angel Insights now, and I have all the archangels listed there and all their specialties. But with the second angel book, I've gone a little bit deeper, and I'm kind of honing in on a couple of archangels. One of them that's really, Archangel Michael, helps me so much in my work, and he is a hugely popular archangel. He's known as Saint Michael with the Catholics, and that is an angel who, he's a warrior angel, and you can go to him when you need strength, when you need to find the courage to walk through a crisis or a challenge like a cancer diagnosis, a divorce, a financial hardship, something that you're just thinking, I can't face this, I can't handle this. He will help give you the courage and really will lend you some of his chutzpah to get through that situation. And then you can also lean on him when you're tired and exhausted from whatever battles you're fighting. He really is someone who will come and make you feel like he's a stable presence to lean on. And like all angels, not only are they giving you energetic help, but they are sending you opportunities, helpful people, guidance, signs, insightful thoughts, gut instincts to help you navigate that situation as successfully as possible and as easily as possible and as painlessly as possible. Another archangel that I focus on in the book is Archangel Shamuel, which is a wonderful angel to be in touch with right now because he is the most gentle, healing, soft, nurturing energy archangel. And that's really required right now because the world is in a lot of turmoil. And I'm not telling anybody out there something they don't know. We have these times where there are just huge energetic shifts and clashes that come up, and we're really in one. And not only are we seeing so many global things kind of blow up in our face, but we're, many people right now are experiencing major challenges in their life or where they're really at a fork in the road with their life, which can feel like a challenge, not knowing which way to go, feeling like they want to change things. So that's happening on both an individual and global level right now. So Archangel Shamuel he's showing me right now like a soft, fuzzy blanket you can just pull right around yourself. And it's a wonderful energy to get in touch with, to remember the softer side of life, to remember to put up your energy boundaries, if you're energy sensitive, walking around in the world right now especially, and that there are still good, wonderful things happening in the world, even in these times where it's a little more chaotic than normal. Another archangel that I love, feminine energy archangel, Archangel Ariel, comes in with clients a lot. It's funny, Archangel Michael comes in kind of more as this hero that wants to pick you up and help carry you. And Archangel Ariel, who is also an angel of abundance and beauty, comes in and says, hey, you're stronger than you know. You can handle this. I want you to don't play the victim. There's a lot of hope in this situation. You're stronger than you know. You can pick yourself up and you can handle this. So while Archangel Michael kind of gives you his strength or carries you through a situation, Archangel Ariel is like, no, you got this. And I'm insisting that you realize that you're strong and you're a diva and, I'm not going to take any excuses from you. So she's a really fun energy to come in for people because I think we all underestimate ourselves. And Archangel Ariel says, that's ridiculous. You're so dynamic and wonderful.
Yeah, no, there's so many fun ones to really work with and play with. And I know you do angel readings. What do those look like?
Yeah, they're really fun. You can book one through my site, Tanya Blessings. There's a tab for the angel readings, and it tells you what it's like. It gives you testimonials. And if you book the 90-minute reading, which is what I recommend for first-time clients, then I ask you a few questions ahead of time, and I meditate on those before the reading. And then the first 20 minutes is just what the angels told me about those issues in your life for the first 20 or 30 minutes. Then the rest of the reading is you asking questions, or often the angels will say, ask about her husband. We want to talk about her work, and they'll kind of help lead me through where they really want the reading to go. But of course, you can ask questions and lead it that way. And then sometimes if it's one of the longer readings, it's fun during the last 10 or 15 minutes to pull some angel oracle cards, which before I started using them, I was kind of wary of them. It just seemed kind of like a parlor trick. But once I started using them, they're so fun because not only, even though I'm randomly shuffling and randomly pulling, the cards that come up are very appropriate. And once I turn over a card for a client, I see the image, I see the words, but I start getting all these psychic messages about what this card means for that client specifically. And then after the reading, you get an MP3 of it so that you can listen to it at a later date and maybe catch things you didn't catch the first time, or just meditate on it again. So that's, yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, it's like that's the thing. I think, like I use angel cards too. Not in my work so much with clients, but I use it for myself. And you do pick up, like, I know many times people can be like, oh, well, I'm just picking a random card, but the cards that you are picking are meant for you. Like, it's like that, moving into that trusting piece of like, this is like, I am meant to see this card, like recognizing and really, acknowledging that is what the message that is aligned for what you need to hear, the message that you need to hear in that moment.
And normally I rely on my clairaudience, the voices, the clairvoyance, the images, the claircognizance, the knowing. But like I said, sometimes if you have 10 minutes, it's really fun to play with those cards and see what comes in. And some, ascended masters will come in during the readings. I have Jesus and Buddha who want to give people messages. Spirit itself will come in. Archangels, angels, departed loved ones have come in, which is really, really sweet. Departed pets have come in with messages that are so touching. So there's just so many ways that the reading can go. Subconscious blocks are discovered, and we work through those. We talk about childhood traumas that are still affecting you, what's going on in the present, and then, of course, how are we going to navigate the future? What are the possibilities to live at your highest potential?
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we are going to take a break here. This is Deb Acker with Truth Talk. When we come back, I will share my tidbits of truth, and we will finish it with a vibration activation. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune into Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit truthtalkradioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
What if your body and mind were the compasses to the secrets, mysteries, and magic of life? Glenna Rice, co-host of The Questionable Parents, is inviting you to access all that is possible. Glenna is a 10-year certified veteran access consciousness facilitator who offers an amazing variety of life-changing classes and workshops. Work with Glenna from anywhere with teleclasses and workshops all over the globe. To learn more and see Glenna's current schedule of events, classes, and workshops, visit glennarice.com.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic.
1230 WPLQ.
Welcome back to Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker. So in today's final segment, I just want to emphasize some of the things that we touched on in today's show. And really, in terms of when you are looking and, looking at opening to your angels, opening to your intuition, just really being open to starting to explore and starting to play. I know when I first started getting tuned into my angels, I just started asking, and I was doing it verbally. And as Tanya mentioned, you can definitely obviously do it just by thinking it, but whatever feels aligned for you, right? Whatever feels most powerful and feels good to you. And so for me, as I was putting it out and just saying it out loud, one of the things I had asked for, and I had mentioned this actually not that long ago, but one of the things when I was working with my angels and playing with my angels was just to give me a clear sign when I was still working in my old job as to if that was the right job for me, and if not, what the right job was. And literally that day, the day that I asked for that, I couldn't get on my computer to my work, which was very interesting. And I was actually just laughing because I thought that, oh my God, that's hilarious and such a clear sign. And then maybe a few short days later, I was in a class and the teacher of the class asked me to start coaching for this class that I was actually taking. And so I knew right then, even though nothing ever really came of working with this person in particular, I knew right then that was a very clear and strong and powerful message from the universe. And so really, I right then and there, I actually started taking action around the coaching. But really, it was so clear how simple it could be just to start to connect, to tune into, what my angels and guides had for me, what they wanted for me, and to realize that they were, just as Tanya mentioned, just this extra set of helpers that could, and she mentioned obviously the specific angels, but there was an extra set of a whole team that was just standing by waiting to help me, waiting to assist me. And all I had to do was just really ask and just tune in and just become aware. I know as I started to use them more, I even was getting messages through Facebook. And so I'd be on Facebook and I would have asked for some guidance around something or to be able to see, a type of class or whatever that would fit what I was looking for. And they would just start presenting me with some strong options of some different things. Just obviously it was just coming up in my feed, but it was I knew very clearly, very specifically, oh, cool. I am being guided in this moment. And it felt very powerful. It felt very strong. And, it was just a really, really powerful thing. And so I definitely recommend, I know that it feels out there, it feels woo-woo, but if you can just open to that and be open to the messages that want to come through and however they want to come through, that can be so, so, so powerful. And so that actually leads me into our clearing for today. So for those of you guys who are new to clearing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you to the light. And the light is really the truth of who we are, the truth of who we came here to be. And so connecting you to that really creates the strongest and quickest clearing is what I've found. And so I'll connect you to the light and I'll walk you through the step by step. And then I'll have you expand that out 5 feet, 10 feet, all the way out to the entire universe. And then from there, I might say something like everywhere, you're having a hard time tuning into your intuition. Excuse me. And you want to just see that coming out of your body. And I'll give you a positive alternative to bring in. Maybe it's trust, maybe it's truth, maybe it's light. And you just want to breathe in that. Or you could breathe in an alternate, positive alternative that feels good to you. So with that, I want to go ahead and have you close your eyes. Excuse me. Okay, so just close your eyes and just taking a nice deep breath. Wow. There's some interesting energy coming up right now. But just taking a nice deep breath and just breathing in through your nose and filling your belly and the sides of the body and the chest with air. And just exhaling out. And just one more time, just taking a nice deep breath and just breathing in through your nose and just filling your belly and the sides of the body and the chest with air. And just exhaling out. And just connecting to the light that's 300 feet above your head. And we naturally do this when we pray. So just see, sense, or feel that light. And you're just going to allow this liquid light to come down in through your forehead, down past your eyes so that you could really see the truth. Down past your nose and your ears so you can really hear the truth, down into your mouth and into your throat so you can really speak your truth, and moving that liquid light across your shoulders and down past your heart so you could really feel your truth, and moving that liquid light into your stomach and into your hips so you can really ground, stand in, and create your truth. And allowing that liquid light to come down in through your legs and out through your feet so you could really move towards your truth. And just connecting into the center of the earth that feels like mother's love. It's all ooey and gooey and warm and nurturing. And just bringing this liquid light back up through your feet, up through your legs, up through your torso and up through your face. And one more time, just taking that liquid light and just seeing it covering every ounce of your face, bringing that liquid light down your throat and across your shoulders and down your back, down your arms, down your hips, down your legs and out through your feet and back up through your feet, up through your legs, up through your torso, and up through your face. And just expanding that light from above and below. And go ahead and expand that light from the center of your heart into the room that you're in. And just open, expanding, and breathing. And just see that light getting bigger and bigger and bigger and all the way out to the entire building that you're in. And just open, expanding, and breathing. And see that light expanding out past the entire city that you're in, wherever you are located. See that light getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And opening out past the entire country that you're in. So just super, super, super big. And just open, expanding, and breathing. Just expanding the light out even bigger and bigger and bigger. And out past the entire world. Just super, super, super big. Just open, expanding, and breathing. And out past the entire universe. Past all the planets. Just open, expanding, and breathing. And open, expanding, and breathing. And just everywhere you're having a hard time connecting to your intuition, everywhere you're not trusting in some way, just exhaling that out of your body and just breathing in truth, breathing in light, and breathing in trust, and breathing in truth, breathing in light, breathing in trust, breathing in truth, breathing in light, breathing in trust. And everywhere you don't believe in angels, everywhere that you are resistant to angels and you are closing yourself off to something that could be super positive, super helpful, just exhaling that out and just breathing in openness, breathing in truth, breathing in openness, and breathing in truth, breathing in openness, and breathing in truth. And breathing in openness and breathing in truth. And everywhere when you are tuning into your guidance, to your angels, you are attached to an outcome. Just exhaling out that attachment. And again, just breathing in openness, breathing in truth, breathing in light, breathing in openness, breathing in truth, breathing in light, and breathing in openness, breathing in truth, breathing in light. And one more time, just breathing in openness, breathing in truth, breathing in light. And just feeling your feet nice and flat on the ground and feeling your body in the chair and taking one more nice deep inhale and exhale and just bringing yourself back into the room. And with that, I want to thank my guest today, Tanya Richardson, for sharing such great information. And I want to thank you all for tuning into Truth Talk. I always love hearing from my audience. So if you have a comment on the show or would like to introduce yourself, you can send me a note on the contact page of my website at deboraacker.com. And there you can also sign up for my complimentary pattern identifying discovery session, as well as my free Living in Your Truth guide. And next week on Truth Talk, we're going to have Corinne Dobas speaking about something that everyone talks about but has a hard time practicing: authenticity. So in the meantime, I hope you have a great week, and I'll look forward to talking with you next time.
Thank you for listening to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio every Wednesday at 3 Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com and experience the truth of who you are and who you came here to be. Each week, Deb interviews an inspiring guest and illuminates the truth to a wide range of topics, including love, life, purpose, career, consciousness, and abundance. Welcome to the world of infinite possibilities. For more information about Deb, including how to contact or work with her, visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com. Look forward to seeing you next week for more Truth Talk Radio.